Look up, high above the clouds. Where the air gets thin and the silence is deafening, a shadow moves. It's not just a bird. It's a 7-foot span of raw power and ancient instinct. For centuries, the bald eagle has been more than just an animal. It has been a god to some, a symbol of the superpower to others, and a nightmare to anything that moves on the ground below. But have you ever wondered what it actually feels like to be this creature? To see the world through eyes that can spot a fish a mile away? To feel the wind under wings that never tire? Today, we aren't just watching a documentary. We are stepping into the life of the ultimate predator. We're going to break down every feather, every bone, and every brutal kill, from the frozen lakes of Alaska to the swamplands of Florida. This is a complete, untold story of the bald eagle. And trust me, by the end of this journey, you will never look at the sky the same way again. But before we start this epic climb, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We bring you the wildest stories from the heart of nature every single week. Hit that bell icon because you don't want to miss what's coming next. To truly understand the king, we have to go back in time. Millions of years of evolution have perfected this killing machine. The bald eagle, or Haliaeetus leucocephalus, which literally means white-headed sea eagle, is unique to North America. Think about that for a second. While other eagles are spread across the globe, this specific masterpiece belongs to one continent. But it wasn't always a hero of the story. In the early 1900s, this bird was seen as a pest, a thief that stole livestock. It was hunted, poisoned, and pushed to the very edge of extinction. By 1963, there are only 417 nesting pairs left in the entire lower 48 states. Imagine that, a national symbol almost wiped off the face of the earth. The reason? A chemical called DDT. It made their eggshells so thin that they would break under the weight of the parents. It was a silent tragedy. But then, something miraculous happened. The people fought back. Laws were passed. The chemical was banned. And the bald eagle staged the greatest comeback in biological history. Today, they are flourishing, but their struggle for survival is still as fierce as ever. They didn't just survive. They reclaimed their throne. And in this chapter, we explore how their very body is designed to keep them on that throne. To understand why the bald eagle sits at the top of the food chain, we have to look past the feathers. We have to look at the engineering. This is a creature built for one thing: aerial supremacy. Imagine a machine that can see through miles of atmosphere, fly through a hurricane, and crush bone with a single squeeze. This is not just biology. It's a living weapon system. Let's start with the eyes. If a human had eyes proportional to an eagle, our heads would be the size of watermelons. An eagle's eye is almost as large as a human's, but it functions on a level we can barely comprehend. They have a 340-degree field of vision. While you are struggling to see what's right in front of you, the eagle is seeing the entire horizon. But here's the secret. They have 2 foveae, or focal points, in each eye. This allows them to focus on a tiny rabbit 2 miles away, while simultaneously keeping an eye on the obstacles in their flight path. And their color vision? It's far superior to ours. They can see ultraviolet light, which means they can see the urine trails of small rodents on the ground, glowing like neon signs. To an eagle, the world isn't just green and brown. It's a high-definition map of targets. Now, let's move down to the landing gear, the talons. Each foot of a bald eagle is equipped with 4 massive claws. The hallux talon, the one at the back, is the primary killing tool. It's nearly 2 inches long. When an eagle strikes, it doesn't just grab, it locks. They have a unique tendon structure that works like a ratchet. Once those talons close around a fish or a fox, they stay closed without the bird even trying. The pressure? It's over 400 pounds per square inch. To put that in perspective, a human's strongest grip is about 50 psi. The bald eagle has 8 times the crushing power of a world-class athlete. It can literally puncture lungs, crush skulls, and snap spines in a fraction of a second. This is why, when an eagle catches a fish that's too heavy to lift, it won't let go, even if it means being pulled underwater. Its body is programmed to hold on until the end. Then there's the iconic yellow beak. It's made of keratin, the same material as your hair and nails, but it grows continuously throughout the bird's life. It's hooked at the end for a very specific reason: precision tearing. An eagle doesn't chew its food. It uses that beak like a surgeon's scalpel to slice through thick skin and muscle. It's powerful enough to break the neck of a large prey animal, yet delicate enough to feed tiny marble-sized pieces of meat to a newborn chick without causing a scratch. Finally, let's look at the wings. A wingspan of 7 to 8 feet, but it's the feathers that are the real miracle. A bald eagle has about 7,000 feathers, but they weigh more than its entire skeleton. Its bones are hollow, filled with air sacs to keep it light, while the feathers provide the strength. These wings are designed for soaring. By using thermal updrafts, rising columns of warm air, the eagle can stay in the sky for hours without flapping once. It's the ultimate energy saver. But when it's time to hunt, those wings tuck in, and the eagle transforms into a golden brown missile, reaching speeds that would leave a car in the dust. Every single inch of this bird has been refined over millions of years for one purpose: to be the most efficient predator in the sky. But even with all this power, life is a constant battle. In the next chapter, we're going to see how these weapons are used in the most brutal way possible, in the war for territory and the fight for the next meal. In the world of the bald eagle, a home is not just a place to sleep. It's a castle that grows for decades. But within the walls of these massive fortresses, a dark and brutal drama unfolds that most humans could never imagine. The bald eagle builds the largest nest of any bird in North America. Imagine a structure made of sticks, grass, and moss that can weigh over 2,000 pounds. That's the weight of a small car. They don't just build a new nest every year. They are master renovators. They return to the same spot year after year, adding more layers until the nest becomes 8 feet wide and 13 feet deep. These massive structures are usually perched at the very top of the tallest trees, giving the parents a 360-degree view of any approaching danger. But sometimes, the nest becomes so heavy that during a storm, the entire tree snaps, bringing the eagle's world crashing down. Inside this nest, life begins with a fragile egg. For 35 days, the parents take turns protecting the eggs from freezing temperatures and predators like crows or raccoons. When the chicks finally hatch, they are covered in gray fluff, tiny, helpless versions of the kings they are meant to become. But don't let their cuteness fool you. Within days, the instinct for survival kicks in and it's heartless. Here is the part they don't show you in the postcards. Often, 2 or 3 chicks hatch, but there is only enough food for the strongest. The firstborn chick is usually larger and stronger. In a phenomenon known as Cainism, named after the biblical story of Cain and Abel, the older sibling will relentlessly attack the younger one. They peck at their smaller sibling's head, push them away from food, and sometimes even push them out of the nest to their death. The parents? They just watch. They don't intervene. In the eyes of nature, this isn't cruelty, it's efficiency. They want the strongest bloodline to survive. If a parent brings a fish, the bully eats first. If there's nothing left, the youngest simply starves. It's a brutal, high-stakes competition where only the fiercest earn the right to fly. For the survivors, the struggle isn't over. At about 10 to 12 weeks old, it's time for fledging. The young eagle stands on the edge of the nest, looking down at a drop that could mean instant death. They flap their wings, building muscle, feeling the wind. Then comes a moment of truth. They jump. Many fail. Some hit the ground and become easy meals for wolves or bears. But those who catch the wind, those who find the strength to rise, finally understand what it means to be an icon. They leave the nest as brown, mottled birds, not yet possessing the famous white head. But they carry the scars of the nest with them, ready to start their own journey of blood and sky. Imagine living in a world where every inch of the air you breathe is a battlefield. For the bald eagle, there are no borders, only territories, and they're defended with blood. An eagle's territory can span over 50 square miles, and they guard with a level of ferocity that is unmatched in the animal kingdom. It starts with a speck on the horizon, another eagle, perhaps a younger one looking for a home, or an older rival seeking a better fishing spot. The owner of the territory doesn't give a warning. It doesn't chirp. It screams, a high-pitched, piercing sound that echoes across the valleys. This is the sound of a king declaring war. If the intruder doesn't turn back, the sky becomes a theater of violence. These are not just birds flying. These are master pilots engaging in high-stakes dogfights. They use gravity as a weapon. They dive at each other from thousands of feet, trying to get above the opponent. Why? Because in the air, height is power. They flip upside down in mid-flight, showing their massive talons to the sky, ready to rip to the feathers of anyone who dares to challenge them. You will see feathers floating in the air like snow, a silent reminder of the cost of freedom. But sometimes the battle takes a turn that is both beautiful and terrifying. This is known as the cartwheel display or the death spiral. The two rival eagles, or sometimes a mating pair testing their strength, will lock their talons together high in the stratosphere. They grip each other so tightly that they cannot fly, and then they let go of the wind. They begin to fall, spinning round and round like a dying star, plummeting toward the earth at terminal velocity. They are locked in a cage of their own making. Gravity pulls them down faster and faster, 100, 200, 500 feet. The ground is rushing up to meet them. It's a game of chicken played at the highest level. Who will let go first? If they don't release their grip in time, they will hit the ground or the water with the force of a car crash. Many eagles have been found dead, still locked together in this final, fatal embrace. It is the ultimate test of nerves. Winning a territory war doesn't mean it's over. A territorial eagle is always on edge. They spend 90% of their day perched on the highest branch, scanning the horizon. Every intruder, whether it's a hawk, an osprey, or even a drone, is a threat. This constant state of vigilance is exhausting, but it is the price they pay to be the icon of the American wilderness. They are lonely kings on a throne made of wind and clouds, knowing that one day a younger, faster rival will come to take it all away. We've seen the power, we've seen the nest, but now we witness the eagle in its true element, the hunt, to eat. The bald eagle must become a ghost in the sky, a silent assassin that strikes before prey even knows it's being watched. The hunt begins miles away. Using those superpowered eyes we discussed, the eagle locks onto a target, perhaps a salmon splashing in a cold Alaskan river. It doesn't just fly down. It folds its wings, reduces its air resistance, and enters a stoop. This is a control fall that can reach speeds of over 100 miles per hour. Gravity becomes its engine. As it nears the water, it doesn't stop. It thrusts its massive talons forward at the very last millisecond, snatching the fish with surgical precision without even getting its feathers wet. This is high-speed physics in action. But sometimes the ocean fights back. Bald eagles often target fish that are too heavy to lift, sometimes weighing as much as the eagle itself. Because of the ratcheting system in their talons, once they lock on, they cannot always let go. We have seen incredible footage of eagles being dragged underwater by massive fish. But the king is a fighter. It will use its wings to row through the water like a swimmer, dragging the heavy prize to the shore. It is a grueling life-or-death struggle. If they reach the shore, they feast. If they don't, they drown. There is no middle ground in the wild. Here is a side of the bald eagle that Benjamin Franklin famously hated. They are world-class thieves. This behavior is called kleptoparasitism. Why hunt for yourself when you can let someone else do the hard work? An eagle will watch an osprey, a smaller hawk, catch a fish. The moment the osprey rises, the eagle attacks. It chases the smaller bird, harassing it, diving at it, until the osprey is forced to drop its meal. The eagle then catches a falling fish in midair before it even hits the water. It's a display of sheer bullying and aerial dominance. But the most shocking part of their hunting is when they go after mammals. In the harsh winters, when fish are locked under ice, the bald eagle becomes a predator of the land. They've been filmed attacking young deer, foxes, and even scavenging from wolf kills. Imagine the scene. A pack of wolves has just brought down an elk. Most birds would wait for the wolves to finish. Not the bald eagle. It will drop from the sky, wings spread wide to look as large as possible, screaming its war cry. Often, the wolves, fearful of those razor-sharp talons, will actually step back and let the eagle take its share. It is one of the few creatures on Earth that can look a wolf in the eye and make it blink. This fearlessness is what makes them a national icon. They don't just survive, they rule through intimidation. To truly appreciate the power of the bald eagle, we have to see how it stands against the other titans of the wild. It is one thing to be a king when you are alone, but it is another thing entirely to defend your throne against rivals. First, let's look at the golden eagle. While the bald eagle is the symbol of America, the golden eagle is the phantom of the mountains. They are similar in size, but their personalities are worlds apart. The bald eagle is a specialist of the water, a master of fish. But the golden eagle? It is a land-based assassin. It has been known to take down mountain goats and even small deer. When these two meet at a carcass, the tension is electric. The bald eagle uses its massive size to intimidate, while the golden eagle relies on its superior aggression. Watching these two giants face off is like watching two heavyweight boxers. Neither wants to blink first. But what happens when the sun goes down? That is, when the great horned owl emerges. They call the owl the tiger of the air. While the eagle has the power, the owl has the silence. There have been rare cases where a great horned owl has attacked an eagle's nest at night. Because the eagle cannot see well in the dark, it is vulnerable. This is the only time the king is truly afraid. But come sunrise, the roles are reversed. If an eagle finds an owl's roosting spot during the day, it will show no mercy. It is an ancient war between light and shadow. Perhaps the most common rivalry is with the osprey. The osprey is a better fisherman than the eagle. It is more agile and can dive completely underwater. But the eagle is the smarter politician. It waits for the osprey to do the hard work. Once the osprey catches a heavy trout and is struggling to fly, the eagle strikes. It's not just about hunger. It's about dominance. The eagle forces the osprey to drop its prize in midair and then, in a display of incredible speed, catches the fish before it even hits the ground. This is kleptoparasitism, the art of professional stealing. And finally, the most daring encounter of all, the eagle versus the wolf. In the freezing winters of the north, food is a luxury. When a wolf pack makes a kill, the smell of blood attracts eagles from miles away. You might think a bird would stand no chance against a wolf, but an eagle is fearless. It will land just a few feet away from a growling wolf, wings spread out to 3 times its body size, hissing and snapping its beak. Often, a lone wolf will actually back away. It knows that one strike from those talons to its face could mean blindness or permanent injury. It is a standoff of pure courage, where the bird prey proves that it has the heart of a lion. But there is a side to the bald eagle that very few people ever get to witness. Beyond the hunting and the high-speed chases, these birds have a complex social life. Did you know that bald eagles are incredibly playful? Young eagles, often called juveniles, spend hours playing a game of aerial catch with sticks or dry grass. They drop an object from high in the sky and dive to catch it before it hits the trees. This isn't just for fun. It is a vital training session. It teaches them precision they will need when their life depends on catching a fast-moving fish. And then there is their hygiene. For a bird that spends its day tearing through messy prey, staying clean is a matter of life and death. An eagle with dirty feathers cannot fly efficiently. They spend hours every single day preening. They use their beak to spread natural oils from a special gland near their tail across every single one of their 7,000 feathers. This makes them waterproof. If you see an eagle standing by a river bank with its wings spread wide, it isn't just posing for a photo. It's sunbathing. The sun's heat helps dry their feathers and kills off tiny parasites that could weaken them. It's a full-time job being an icon, and maintenance is the most important part of it. As our world expands, the world of the eagle shrinks. But this has led to some of the most incredible human-animal interactions ever recorded. In many parts of Alaska, bald eagles are as common as pigeons in a city park. They sit on rooftops, wait near fishing boats, and sometimes even get into trouble with power lines. There are thousands of volunteers across North America dedicated to eagle rescue. Imagine the courage it takes to approach a wounded eagle. Even when injured, those talons are lethal. Rescuers have to use heavy blankets and specialized gear to safely transport these giants to hospitals. One famous story involves an eagle named Beauty, who lost her upper beak to a gunshot wound. She couldn't eat or clean herself, but through human innovation, she was given a 3D printed prosthetic beak. It was the first time technology was used to give a king his crown back. This bond between humans and eagles is the only reason they are still flying today. Every time we protect a forest or clean a river, we are giving the eagle another day to rule the sky. As we enter the final chapter of our journey, we must look at the encounters that define the bald eagle's bravery beyond the fish and the sky. This is where the bird becomes a legend. One of the most intense battles in nature is the struggle between the eagle and the snake. This is a fight between the sky and the earth. When an eagle spots a large snake, sometimes a venomous one, it doesn't hesitate. But this is a dangerous game. Unlike a fish, a snake can strike back. The eagle uses its wings as a shield, flapping them to distract the snake, while its talons search for the head. If the eagle misses by even an inch, the snake can coil around its neck or legs, dragging the king of the skies down into the dirt. We have seen battles that last for over 20 minutes, a grueling dance of death where one mistake means the end. But the eagle's scales on its legs are thick, like armor, protecting it from the fangs. When the eagle finally gains the upper hand, it flies high into the air and drops the snake from hundreds of feet, letting gravity finish the job. This is the raw, unedited reality of survival. Most people don't realize how long these birds actually live. In the wild, a bald eagle can live for 20 to 30 years. But getting to that age is a miracle. Think about the thousands of storms they must fly through, the hundreds of battles they must fight, and the winters where food is nowhere to be found. As they age, their appearance changes. They aren't born with that famous white head. For the first 5 years of their life, they are completely brown. They are often mistaken for golden eagles. Every year, they go through a molting process, losing old feathers and growing new, stronger ones. It is only when they reach sexual maturity at age 5 that they finally earn their white crown. This is their badge of honor, signaling to the world that they have survived the hardest years of their lives. But as they get older, their talons may become less sharp and their eyesight might dim. An old eagle is a wise eagle. They know exactly where to find food without wasting energy. They become the silent observers of the forest, watching the new generations make the same mistakes they once did. Beyond the biology and the hunting, we must talk about the soul of this bird. For thousands of years, Native American tribes have looked at the bald eagle as a messenger between humans and the Creator. Its feathers are considered the most sacred objects in their culture. To them, the eagle doesn't just fly, it carries prayers to the heavens. When you see an eagle soaring at 10,000 feet, it is easy to understand why. They live in a world we can only dream of. They see the curvature of the earth. They feel the pulse of the wind. So, what is the final lesson of the bald eagle? It is a lesson of resilience. This is a bird that was almost deleted from history by human greed and chemicals. We almost lost the scream of the king. But the eagle didn't give up, and neither did the people who loved it. Its comeback is a reminder that no matter how far we fall, we can always rise again. As the sun dips below the horizon and the great eagle tucks its head under its wing for night, we realize that we haven't just been watching a bird. We have been watching a masterclass in survival. The sky is a vast, empty place, but as long as the bald eagle is flying, it will never be lonely. It is the guardian of the wilderness, the master of the wind, and the eternal symbol of a world that refused to let its legends die. Thank you for spending these 23 minutes with us. It has been an honor to tell this story. If this journey moved you, if it taught you something new about the world we share, please share this video. Let the world know that the king is back, and he is stronger than ever. Until our next adventure into the deep wild, stay curious, stay respectful, and stay wild.